On the third night of creation, the seas continued to lament and mourn all the sorry plight of those in hell. They were continually stirred up by the dragon's contentious waves and was under the complete influence and control of Lucifer. And while they bemoaned their awful state, the Creator whispered, "Let the waters be gathered together, that the dry land may appear, and give place for all the grasses, herbs, and trees to grow." But in the morning Lucifer held the waters back. He would not let them gather, and the waters could not budge free from his stubborn pride. When the Creator could see that the waters would cower to the festering fears of the dragons, and that they would refuse to listen to his voice, he, with indignation in his voice, summoned up Lucifer and said, "Angel of death, the earth is yours to do what you will with it." Then, out of the heavens from the ant temple above, came the angel of mercy and spoke, cooing like a dove, "O great Creator, have patience. All your creations, even the sloshy and swishy waters, will one day praise your name for your kindness and your long suffering. They will rejoice in your name continually and have on their hearts inscribed the words, 'We will do all that our Creator has spoken for us to do.'" And when the Creator heard this, and because of his great love for the earth, he did not wish that it come under the influence and destructive powers of Lucifer. Perhaps, he thought, there was another way to get the waters to comply. And so, from a different place, down in the depths of the deep, he spoke once again, "Let the dry land rise." And out from the depths of the sea emerged steaming large granite rocks from the waters. They rose up like massive islands, floating upon the heavier and denser basalt rocks below, forcing the waters to retreat and gather in their proper place. When Lucifer saw this, he was infuriated, and with a tantrum of rage, he heaved the waters up onto the land, declaring that he would overthrow the land, flood it, and destroy it. But as time went on, the waters grew weary of continually beating upon the solid granite rock with no effect. The rocks were calm, unperturbed, and immovable. Eventually, the waters had to retreat into their proper place. The Creator then surrounded all the continents with a sandy seashore as a borderline for the lamenting waters to stay within. However, even today, the great and mighty seas will attempt to, with a tide of emotion, rise up and flood over the land, wanting to destroy it. But in the end, they are forced to retreat once again back behind the established sandy shoreline. When the waters were calm and had retreated, the Creator then named the granite continents Earth, and the angry waters the mighty sea. There still, however, needed to be much done in order to prepare the earth for the grasses, herbs, and trees to grow. Air needed to be balanced out with oxygen, and the soils needed to be cultivated and nurtured. The Creator brought little small creatures and placed them upon the rocks. These were lichens and fungi and mosses. They were to do the humble work of breaking the rocks down slowly into rich and composted soils. And in the sea he placed microorganisms called the stromatolites and the sponges that divided the iron and the salts from the sea. And he planted algae in the waters to balance out the oxygen in the air and water. And when all was finished, Adam was ordered to plant all the seeds of the plants. He planted the grasses and the herbs. He planted the trees and the shrubs. Among the first trees that were planted were the gymnosperms. These were cone-bearing trees. And among the most prominent of these was the giant redwood tree. The giant redwood considered itself to be far superior to any of its lesser creatures below it, because, why, it was the tallest among all the plants and one of the first trees to grow. And while it went around bragging about its magnanimous strength and its superior status among the Creator spoke with a warning. And he said, "Pride, my friends, goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before fall." But the giant redwoods gave no heed to this warning. What, they reasoned, could there possibly be in this earth that could destroy them? There was nothing taller, nothing stronger, and more magnanimous than they. But while they went about bragging, down deep in the mighty seas were the stromatolites and sponges, and they worked very diligently to separate the iron from the salts from the sea. They breathed out into the waters a shrilling cry that was as sharp as a two-edged sword. The waters began to drip heavy drops of red iron that sank to the sea's bottom. And when the redwood trees heard these drops of red iron, they began to weep and to moan and to wail. The Creator said, "Now, my friends, what is the matter with you?" And the giant redwoods, they said, "We thought we were the favored of all your creations. But now you have ordered the stromatolites to make the iron, and the people will take the iron one day and form the axe, which they will use as a weapon to destroy us." And the Creator then spoke and counseled. "O great redwoods, you have nothing to fear unless you are so arrogant as to provide a handle for the axe of your own wood. The red drops of iron are there to remind you to be meek and lowly of heart, and to always give thanks for those small beings that sacrificed and prepared the way for you to grow into the wise and strong tree that you are. And if you listen to that red iron and give thanks, you will indeed grow up to be one of the wisest and oldest of all my trees. But if you do not, why, your hardened pride will be made into the very handle for the axe of your destruction. For the weak and the simple who listen to my voice will one day rise up and cut down the mighty and the strong." The giant redwoods all at once bowed down their heads, and they said, "Oh, we are sorry for our arrogance, O great Creator. We will eternally be grateful for those small beings that came before us and prepared our soils for our seeds to grow. And indeed, today, even today, all the giant redwoods and all the gymnosperms, they retain their leaves in both the summer and the winter, for fear that if they drop them, they will forget to give praise and thanks to the little lichens and mosses and mushrooms, and to the great Creator above. At the end of the third day, the skies began to turn red once again, and the light began to fade. And the Creator was filled with joy and was very pleased that all of his plan was being carried out as he had instructed. And Adam and Eve numbered the night and the days. From evening to morning they called night, and from morning to evening they called day. This being the third night and morning that they counted. On this third day of creation, all the continents were formed, and the lamenting seas were placed within limiting boundaries. The oxygen filled the air, and the soils were prepared for the living and luscious green foliage to cover it. And whoever listens to that solid granite continents will find the courage to stand the test of time. They will have the strength to keep and hold the suffering and sorrows of the world at bay. They will keep them in their proper perspective. And those who listen to the great drops of red iron at the sea's bottom will remember always to be meek and lowly of heart. And they will be blessed with wisdom and strength to stand in old age. The Third Day of Creation by Stephen M. Cook. How firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in his excellent word. What more can I say than to you I have said, who unto the Savior for refuge have fled? When through the deep waters I call thee to go, the rivers of sorrow will not thee o'erflow. For I am with thee, thy troubles to bless, and sanctify to thee thy deepest distress. In every condition, in sickness, in health, in poverty's vale, or abounding in wealth, at home or abroad, on the land or the sea, as thy days may demand, so thy succor shall be. Fear not, I am with thee, be not dismayed. I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous, omnipotent hand. How Firm a Foundation by Robert King.